Hi guys, my name is Michaela and welcome to Kids Talk. May is our month to be grateful. Today we're interviewing some community members who are grateful for our veterans, teachers, firemen, health workers. We're going to ask them some questions. Today I have Hazel Morton here. Hazel is a proud Vietnam veteran, the former Spanish teacher at Berkeley Springs Middle School where she taught for 14 years. So Hazel, how was your experience of being a veteran?
Oh, I'm retired after 20 years. I thoroughly enjoyed my Army career, and it really helped prepare me for the middle school discipline and dealing with the students, but I've had a good experience in both careers.
Yeah. What was your favorite memory of being a Spanish teacher?
Just being with the students. Absolutely loved the students. They challenged me every day. They were excited to learn Spanish. We did virtual Spanish, so they learned off computers. So we had an opportunity to hear different accents, different countries, see the food that was made in each country, do music. We would dance, we'd play games. It was just an enjoyable experience for everybody. So as they were motivated, I was motivated because I was taught the old chalk and a blackboard. That's how I learned to teach back in the day. So the technology was just out of this world, and so I was learning from the students as much as they were learning from me.
What made you want to be a Spanish teacher, stuff like that?
Luckily, I was motivated in high school. My Spanish teacher in high school encouraged me to pursue Spanish in college, and then I was going to come back and teach. I'm originally from Hagerstown, graduated from North Hagerstown High School. So I was going to come back and hopefully teach in Washington County in one of the county high schools. Well, when I got to college, and this was during the Vietnam era, all my friends, which basically were guys, I grew up on a street where it was me, another girl, all she wanted to do was play with Barbie dolls, and about 9 guys. So I followed the guys and played ball and did things with them. Well, they're all disappearing going into the service, so basically that's what I did. Went in for 2 years and I decided to stay for 20 because I liked it so much.
What made you want to be a veteran, a war veteran?
Well, I actually am a Vietnam era veteran. I didn't get to go to Vietnam because I was back when I was in the Army. Women didn't have the opportunity they have today. So unless you were a nurse, there weren't that many military women in Vietnam. So I did a lot of my assignments. Believe it or not, during Vietnam, I was stationed in Beckley, West Virginia on recruiting duty. So I helped put people in the service. Enjoyed that, got to know the state of West Virginia since I didn't know much about it. And then Alabama, Arizona, Germany. I've lived in 33 cities in 17 countries. So I've kind of been everywhere except the Orient.
Do you have any stories that you would like to share about being a Spanish teacher or a war veteran?
One of the opportunities I had when I was in service, I've flown on Air Force Two, which was the Vice President's airplane. And as they were leaving Andrews Air Force Base to go out to San Francisco to pick up a Japanese delegation, the plane was empty, so I got to ride into the cockpit. And so here I am flying over Nebraska, and the pilot says, well, you want to make any phone calls? You can call anywhere from here. And I said, sure, I'll call my mom back in Hagerstown. So I called Mom and said, hey, you're not going to believe this. I'm flying over Nebraska talking to you in the cockpit of Air Force Two. So that was an opportunity that I wouldn't have had otherwise if I hadn't been in service. And most people say, you know, they join service to see the world and experience new things and meet new people, and I actually got to do that. But my students still number one in my eyes. When I see them now out and about, I even I get email from some of my first classes. They're lawyers, they're doctors. One's an intern up at WVU. He just started up there. Counselors, mechanics, a little bit of everything. So I like to hear from them and what they're doing and how they've succeeded in their lives.
Did you like doing what you did as a Spanish teacher?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I didn't want to stop, but it was just time. Your body tells you it's time to move on. And after standing on those tile floors forever and ever and ever, it's like, uh-oh, time to leave. But I still substitute. So I go back and I help at the school doing that. So I get to do things, and then I'm active in the American Legion and with my family and sorority. So I keep myself busy. My family, kids and grandkids are all down in Florida, so I've got plenty of time to hang out around here.
What made you want to be a Spanish teacher?
Like I said, my high school Spanish teacher really motivated me, encouraged me, told me I had the ability, helped me got scholarships to college. And I went to Frostburg and just enjoyed every bit of it.
Well,
Spent a summer in Mexico as a student, enjoyed that.
what made you want to be a Vietnam veteran?
Well, like I said, I went in to serve just like my friends, and then in the late 60s, the women weren't allowed to do much. So I became what they called, I was a troop officer as opposed to a staff officer. I didn't want to push papers. So I was a basic training company commander. I was a counterintelligence agent. I went out and investigated people. Spent a lot of time at my missile ranges. In Germany, I was a provost marshal. And if you don't know what that is, it's kind of like the chief of police in a city. So I actually did cop work.
Okay. Well, that's all we have today. Bye, guys. See ya.